And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, kids, on a Tuesday, brother. Back at it. What's going on, man?
Back at it, man. Hey, day 2. You know, they always say you're only as good as your next game. We got the jitters out early yesterday. My audio was screwed up. We were trying to set everything up. Now today, you can't even get on your phone. You're flipping it upside down. But
Dude.
like,
Well,
what
dude.
progress?
dude, we-
What is progress? It's like problems or progress or something like that. One of your things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not. I haven't thought about that yet. I can't even get into that mode yet. Jeez. I just, it's funny. I was use adversity to your advantage. How about that one? Use adversity
Okay, there you go.
advantage. Dude, my computer is like the bootleg. It's the old like laptop. I mean, feel free to mix it in a new laptop. It's got like the old charger that like Apple gets you when they bring out these new phones. They get a new charger. Like these 85 chargers I have don't work for anything. Well, dude, this old laptop I have, it weighs like 45. It like weighs like 55 pounds. You can do freaking squats with it in the morning if you want. It has the old charger, dude. And so we moved. Obviously, we just moved from New York, coming back, and I cannot find the charger in the move. And this thing went kaput this morning. So then you're texting me. I can't freaking get the email going. So, but we figured it out, dude.
We figured
At
it
the
out.
end of the day, you got to. Life's a game of adjustments and pivoting, and we did it. We
Yeah.
figured it out.
Hey, quick follow to that. Jess had to go get her iPhone. You know how they kill your iPhone within like 2 years just so they make you go and get a new one, right? That's a
yeah.
scam. That's part one. Part two.
Scam.
She goes to Verizon. She's there for like an hour, and they're like, "Yeah, iPhone no 15X plus Z Y Ws," and she's like, "Well, like, what's the real difference between that and like the 14S or whatever the 9?"
Titanium. That's what they said.
They're like, oh yeah, no, it's true. It's like it's built from a different plastic. It's all BS. Anyway, so she goes, okay, well, if there's not too much of a difference, are there any other differences? They're like, yeah, they redid the charger. She's like, nope, give me the 14. That's where they get you, man. When they you get a new charger, then you lose it. Of course, people like you and me, we're gonna lose the charger within 6 weeks. So you need a backup charger. Now they charge you $60 for a charger. Sorry, Apple. We're on to you.
Dude.
The country is on to you, Apple. I said.
Yeah, clean it up, Apple. You got this new titanium freaking iPhone 15 that flew down from Mars. It's this commercial, but they don't tell us you're giving us a new charger, and I got 85,000 chargers that don't work as soon as I get that titanium iPhone 15, which is the same as iPhone 9.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Exactly. All right, one more quick business thing between us before we move on to the baseball world, which was a big day yesterday. Dude, I watched you and Sarah went and we were gonna get like maybe a pumpkin for your the front of your house, and then I see this video, dude. That was unbelievable. Can you explain what happened? I'm gonna put the video on our YouTube page.
Well, dude, we go to like this farm, the other day, Simmons Farm here, and we go there every year in Pittsburgh. It's a great farm, a local farm. And so usually I go with the girls and I just get a couple pumpkins, and me and Jillian and Carly, we'll you design your pumpkin. It's fun. You put it outside. It rots a couple days later. Kids are bashing it one night, Devil's Night or whatever. Next thing you know, how do you remember those days? Devil's Night, like October 30th, pulling paper in your neighbor. That's illegal nowadays, dude. You can't do that anymore. But anyway, dude, Sarah's like, oh man, look at these pumpkins. They got all different kinds of colors. Next thing you know, she's got a wheelbarrow just loading. She's like, Sean, go grab 2 hay bales. I'm like, what? I've never heard of this before. It's like, give me the 2 hay bales. Give me these big pots of flowers. Get those. I'm like, we walk out of there, dude. Simmons Farm, $396. I'm like, what are we doing? But I tell you what, our front walkway looks incredible, bro. We look like the house you want to walk up to and get the big Snickers bars in a couple of weeks.
It's unbelievable. It looks beautiful. She's got great taste, I gotta say. Good thing you took that Yankee job for a little while. You need to pay for the Halloween decorations. I can't wait till Christmas.
I know. Oh my God, it's incredible.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, let's get into some baseball. 2 good games yesterday. Hey, man. All right, well, let's just start quickly with the Phillies because the Rangers game is going to take us into our really main conversation here.
Okay.
So Phillies come out, boom. First of all, Schwarber, Harper, pow, pow, boom, power pitching, bringing their relievers, fired off, take a big start.
Well, the biggest thing about the Phillies offense, dude, is they can ambush you in a hurry. And that's why Schwarber's sitting at the top there, 46 home runs, I think, during the year, over 100 ribbies. I mean, this guy can get that fan base. They announced Schwarber, bam, 117-mile-an-hour homer off the scoreboard, absolute missile, kind of gets the party started. That place is, the bank is a place where you play there as a visitor. And if that home team can get that crowd going, it's a true home field advantage. I really feel like that's the one place is a really true home field advantage. So, and then Schwarber, believe he also set a postseason record for most leadoff home runs.
Yeah,
which is pretty incredible too. So he gets going, and then dude, Bryce Harper is the stars come out in the postseason. I truly believe that. That's the reason you have stars on your team is because postseason time is when these guys come out, and Harper is one of the best players, probably the best player in the postseason right now. He comes back couple batters later, and bam, he gets the par, second home run. I think it was fourth of the postseason, but he goes deep. So I mean, incredible how they got things going and right out the gates. And then Castellanos continues it, hits another home run. Real Muto drives around.
Another
Harper
record.
drives in another run. So it was 5 runs, bam, on you now. Zach Gallen, kind of got off to a rough start, but ended up going 5 innings, giving up 5. But the Phillies are tough, man. They're tough at the bank, and they're tough when they jump on that early lead. They have so much firepower up and down that lineup, Chinch.
It's a great lineup. Don't forget, you got Trey Turner. They have a lot of old school bases. Trey Turner can steal 4 bases in a game. And he went 4 for 4 the other night. Nobody even talked about it because of the Harper stuff. Like he's. I got a quick question for you as a professional hitting instructor, as you now have on your resume. Schwarber, it's so funny this day and age. Everybody's talking about, hey, you want to be like Schwarber. Like it's almost like they're trying to teach you to hit like Schwarber. I contend he's a freak, man. He's a freak, and he's different. I don't think you can do. I don't think there are many guys that can be as successful as him like that. And we don't forget. Remember that his rookie year he got hurt. He didn't play or was it the second year? He didn't play the entire year that he came back out of nowhere came back for the playoffs and hit like 600 in the playoffs.
I think he came back for the World Series.
For the World Series. He hadn't played the entire season and just started raking left and right and taking huge walks in big games. What makes him you wouldn't teach him, would you?
No. I mean, well, Schwarber's changed over the years. I think when he first came up, he was more of a pure hitter. Now he's really just a big. Here's one thing about Schwarber that's very unique, and it makes me think of Adam Dunn. Schwarber he's going to hit around 200, but he's going to hit you over 40 homers. He's going to walk 100 times, right? And he's going to drive in 100. So it's it's a very unique skill set. He's going to have an 850 OPS. He's just going to be. You just have to live with the 200 average because he's going to do so many other things well, and he can change a game with one swing of the bat. Now you can't have 9 Kyle Schwarbers in your lineup because you can eventually navigate that. But when you have Schwarber leading off with the way he can still get on base because he walks, he has such a good eye, and then you start backing that up with your Turners and your Harpers and your Castellanos and your Alec Bohms and your Real Mutos. That lineup and Stott. That lineup just is so deep and so long that a guy like Schwarber just fits so perfectly in there as the leadoff guy, especially a guy with that's one of the biggest home run threats in the big leagues.
Yeah, and to your point about getting on base, 197 batting average this year, but a 343 on base percentage. That is a lot. That's a lot of getting on base with that batting average. But again, it's like remember how Reggie Miller used to shoot threes, and he would his hands would hit. You wouldn't teach somebody how to shoot a basketball like Reggie Miller. But I don't think you would teach somebody how to hit a baseball like Kyle Schwarber, but you just let Kyle Schwarber be Kyle Schwarber, I think. Right?
Yeah, you let him be. Rob Thompson talked about he has a ton of trust in Kyle Schwarber. Like I said, for a guy that hits 46 home runs and could walk 100 times, his value, is huge in that lineup. And the biggest thing about Kyle Schwarber, Finch, is if you know this guy, man, he is just a walking leader, man. Mm-hmm. He's a leader. He was the leader on the Cubs. He's a leader. He's a leader on the Phillies ever since he got there. He was a leader on the Red Sox, the Nationals. Anywhere this guy goes, he's a leader. And his personality, you see him hugging guys after the games, and everyone's seeking him out. You need guys like Kyle Schwarber on your team to make sure like you have that. He epitomizes the Philadelphia fans as far as like this whole team does. Mm-hmm. Just that like lunch pail mentality, go to work every day. Blue collar grinders. That's Kyle Schwarber. That's Bryce Harper. That's Castellanos. That's Trey Turner. Like the team that Dave Dombrowski has put together epitomizes what that city's all about. And I just think that's why this team is special. They got to the World Series last year. They have a good shot to win it this year.
Excellent. All right, let's go to the other side of the ball, other side of the league. Does any name the amount of managers in Major League Baseball right now who would have the clout to leave in a championship series, leave their starting pitcher in the 5th inning with the bases loaded and nobody out, and trust him?
Yeah, Bruce Bochy might be him and Dusty Baker might be the only two in that game that could do that.
Yeah,
because
they're facing.
Hey, at the end of the day, a lot of managers manage nowadays to the numbers because they don't want the scrutiny. And
The Blue Jays did that, and the players went nuts when they took
took Barrios out.
Yeah,
because they have it scripted. Hey, listen, you got to figure out what you want to do. But a younger manager is going to have to probably go by what the script says, because that's just the way. That's probably a reason they hired the guy. But a guy like Bruce Bochy, Chris Young knows, and Chris Young is a former baseball player, so he also gets it too. So hiring a guy like Bruce Bochy, you go, do what you got to do, Boch. Here's the numbers. Here's all the analytic guys that we have. Take everything you need, but manage the way you manage. That's why we have you. And so those players feel that too. And don't think a guy like, Eovaldi, who was left in, that didn't happen throughout the season. Do you see what I mean? Like Bruce Bochy is giving these guys the confidence they need to say, hey, man, you get into trouble, I'm not coming to get you. Mm-hmm. Figure it out. You know what you're doing. You're a veteran guy. And so for Eovaldi to get in that trouble, 5th inning, bases loaded in Houston, nobody out, and then all of a sudden, he starts making some pitches. I think also that the Astros bats were a little aggressive there. Mm. Sometimes as a hitter, I got to get it done. No, it's the opposite. You got to back it down. The pressure is now on that pitcher. Pressure's not on you. You got to be able to slow down even more. Keep your process tight. Hunt a zone where you want the ball. And it looked like for me, like they started rushing Eovaldi, and as soon as he saw that, he started to get a little softer on him. He started pitching backwards, and he got out of that. What a huge moment for the Rangers, but also a huge moment for Bruce Bochy and that old school mentality of like, I trust my guys, and I've been here before.
Dude, that reminds me of something. John Smoltz said something so cool last night, and this shows you how John Smoltz wasn't just a pitcher. He was an athlete. Like he probably could have been a hitter if he really wanted to. So Chapman comes in the 8th. Okay, I think it was Bregman led off the inning. It got close, right? What was it, a 2-run game or 1-run game at that point? And Bregman comes up, and he jumps. As you said that they were trying to do to Eovaldi. He jumps Chapman's first pitch, pops it up. Second baseman catches it, 1 out, and now you're in the 8th inning with Chapman with two batters left in that inning. And Smoltz made an interesting point. I want to know your take on it. He goes, I get what Bregman was trying to do. He throws so hard, you want to jump him. However, Chapman's troubles happen when you know that he doesn't have the accuracy of his pitches. And he goes, if I'm leading off against Chapman in a playoff game, I have to take one pitch. And he's kind of basically said, like, I would take a pitch just to see if he kind of has it or doesn't. Because now the second guy comes up, still not knowing if Chapman has his stuff yet or not. I felt like that was a super old school take. I'd love to hear your offensive side of that, argue like for or against what he said there, because it was interesting to me.
Yeah, I think a guy like Chapman, who's kind of been all over the place, I think as a hitter too, that he's not painting any corners. Like you're probably going to get something out over the plate at some point. I understand Smoltz's thinking. I think there's two ways to kind of look at it. it's almost like a situation where a guy throws 4 balls in a row, and you're like, okay, keep taking until he can show you that he can throw a strike. I think Chapman's kind of like that. Even if he hasn't thrown 4 balls in a row, you want to make sure that he, has his stuff, that he's gonna like line you up and make some pitches. And maybe that taking that first pitch isn't a bad idea for certain guys. Now, a guy like Bregman, who's a veteran guy, who controls the strike zone so well, who hunts his zone the way he hunts it. I think for him, he's thinking the opposite. He's thinking Chapman doesn't have great control. He's gonna try and ambush me with strike one. He doesn't even know where it's going. He could probably throw one right down the middle here. I gotta be ready to hammer something, and bam, we're right back in the game. So I see what Bregman's thinking, and I also see what Smoltz is thinking. It's just maybe that's kind of a field thing for whoever the hitter is at the time.
I love that. Did you ever go up to the plate going, no matter what happens right now, I'm swinging at the first pitch?
There's times I've definitely said I'm swinging at the first pitch, but I tell you what, those times I can't say I've been so successful because, you also got to swing. You're only as good as the pitch you swing at. Mm-hmm. So if you're up there swinging at the first pitch and it's the first pitch slider outside on the black and you swing at it,
you throw your bat into the right field. Yeah.
You're out, dude. You're out. So like, there is something about, hey, it's always yes until my eyes tell me no, because everything's happened so fast. So yes, I'm swinging, but I also am doing it in a very educated, push the ball out, get it out over the plate where I could get my arms extended. Not so much I'm swinging wherever it is. I call that hope hitting. I hope I hit the ball. I hope I get the good pitch. Dude, that's not good hitting. That's fear-based hitting. I want to have confidence-based hitting where, you know what? I'm swinging at the first pitch. If it's right where I want it, if it's out over the plate. I look at the first pitch, Chinch, as a 2-0-3-1, right? It's 0-0. I've earned the right to get my pitch. That's why they give you 3 strikes. This is a hard game. This guy has to do it 3 times. So if I'm up there swinging at a pitcher's pitch, first pitch, or just swinging the first pitch with fearful hitting, hopeful hitting, because I don't want to get the 2 strikes or I don't want to strike out, guess what? You'll be playing another sport really soon. Because at the end of the day, that fear-based hitting doesn't work. You have to have confidence in an approach, look in a zone, and hunt that zone.
I love that. Hope hitting. Wow.
Hope hitting, man. I hope I get a hit. I hope I get a strike. I hope he throws it where I want it to be.
I'm writing that
fear-based hitting. Can't do it.
Writing this down for Nolan for our next clip. That's a good one. Hey, all right. I argue now, after this, Rangers, I believe they're 7-0 this postseason. I also argue the single worst thing that could happen to them is if they sweep the Astros on Thursday. And here's why. The World Series does not start until next Friday. Not this Friday. Next Friday, dude. I'm not even, you just go because I know you have experience with situations like that.
First off, there's a lot to unpack on this one because I have been there. In 2006, when I was with the Tigers, we swept Oakland. St. Louis and the Mets went to Game 7 with a rainout. And the World Series doesn't start till it starts. It's already scheduled. So we had 7 days off. And I remember those first 2 days, we were all looking at each other like, dude, in the big leagues, you play every single night. When you have a 3 days off at the All-Star break, every guy that comes back is like, that feels a little weird, It's a rhythm and timing game. These guys would rather play every day, instead of like having a day off here and there. And so I know for us, when I look back at that World Series, we lost in 5 games to the Cardinals. I felt like, listen, the Cardinals beat us, but we were flat. We couldn't hit. And everything we were doing coming into that World Series, we didn't do. We didn't field it. We were rusty as a pitchers. We didn't hit it all. It was incredible. So I look back at that and go, okay, that was real. And I remember Leland saying, let's not make that an excuse. But I say, no, there's something about Major League Baseball. These guys are creatures of habit and rhythm and timing. And I don't care, dude. Go back to they might have to change the playoff format at some point because go back and look at what happened this postseason and last postseason. It happened 2 postseasons in a row with the new format, 3-game series with the wild cards. Because if you play that wild card, if you get out of that wild card, bam, you're still playing and cruising in. Look at the Braves, dude. They got beaten 4 games by the Phillies. It wasn't just they got beat. It was how they got beat. I think the first game they got shut out for the first time in 2 years. The most prolific offense in Major League Baseball history this season. They got shut out. They got shut out. They only been shut out 2 years ago was the last shutout. They only had 5 singles in that first game, right? And then you go look at the Orioles. You know, they did so well, but they got, you know, I think that they get swept. They got swept by the Rangers. I think they got swept, or you know, they might have won one game.
Oh, it was not even
And the Dodgers, dude, one of the best. They got swept. So that's 6 days off, 6 or 7 days off, dude. Chinch, that's real. And I don't know if they, you know, Major League Baseball just has to look at it at the end of the day, because are you now it's like, do you want to win the division? You know, before it's like, hey, win the division, get those days off. I don't know. I'm not sure if that is all of a sudden, you know, something that's great for you or bad for you, because like I said, those guys that are playing right away, I know you have to win that wild card series, but if you do that, if you get to that wild card series, now you're still rolling into the championships, division series and the championship series in a 5-game series in that division series. So if you get off to a bad start game one, every game, every pitch is so important. So to lose one game because you haven't played in 6 days is a big deal. That's just my opinion. I think it's real. I know people will say, well, the Astros won. The Astros were such a better team than the Twins. I really believe that. And they barely won game one. Mm-hmm. And obviously the Twins won a game and, you know, whatever. But I just feel like looking at those other teams, for the Braves, the Dodgers, and the O's to just get run over, there's something to that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to keep this as a teaser. How many games did you have off before the World Series?
I want to say we had 6 days off.
Okay. We're going to save this until we get to that off day, because we're talking to the guy who in that same World Series hit .529, going 9 for 17 with 2 runs, 2 dingers, and 5 ribbies. God, we're saving it. We'll save this till the first team gets a break, so Sean Casey can give us the insight as to how he hit almost 600.
I got hot, bro. I got hot.
Yeah, you got hot. I want to know what you did that week before. You're still a young guy back then.
I was hurt. I got hurt in game 1 in Oakland. I tore my calf, tore all the fascia in my calf. I needed every day off. Like, for me, it was a blessing, because I needed every day off to be able to. I had 11 days off. So even for me to come back and hit that well, I just got locked in.
So here's what we're going to do. When we get to the first team getting done, Sean Casey's going to put his hitting coach hat on and talk about what he would do, what he would implement with his offense to try to keep him good for 6 or 7 days. So you put that. That's my homework.
Oh, I already know what I do. I'll save it, but I already know.
Oh, that's great. All right. What else you got going on today? Anything big?
What do I got going on? I don't have much, dude. I got the girls this week, so I'm so excited. You know, hanging out with Carly and Jillian, and just being a dad, dude. It's fun being back, being a dad, and being with the kids.
Oh yeah, man. Around. I forget you haven't been home in 4 months.
yeah, exactly. So we have all these things being delivered. We redid this one room in the house, so we got a table coming today. Sarah's like, you gotta be home before 4:30.
That's like a nice wood.
Oh, we got that coming. Yeah, we got a sweet
like a dining room table or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
But
that's not coming today. No. We have like a coffee table coming today. You know, I'm like, all I'm gonna do is be picking up packages today for this room.
I'm slammed today. I got 2 things I'm doing. I'm with Lavernius Coles and Wayne Corbett. Shout out Jets fans. We're gonna recap the Jets game the other night. Best
dude. How about the Jets coming up? Big win there, dude.
It's so cool because like can you talk about how to handle adversity in a professional sporting environment? Like, dude, Aaron Rodgers, the Jets were like Super Bowl or bust 4 plays into the year, man. 4 plays into the year, he goes down. You got to give Wilson credit, man, because it was doom and gloom. He's hung in there. They're 3-3 going into a bye week, dude. That's a great thing, man.
He's not doing bad either. I think Rodgers being around too is good for Zach Wilson as far as like his confidence goes and stuff. How about Rodgers too, coming out already throwing? Dude. He's been out 6 weeks. He's already throwing passes and stuff.
Freakish. I just read something about that. You know, he used like, I don't want to say an evasive surgeon for his surgery, but somebody who's doing stuff that I don't even know if it's like certified yet.
Yeah, like probably stem cells and stuff
Something, yeah,
like
and
that.
it's some sort of way they reattach it or don't attach it the same way that everybody else has done for years and years and years. And there's this whole science now saying, when you tear your ACL, like it's always slow to slow at first rehab. There's a whole science now saying, no, just keep going and try to press it early, and you could always fix again later. It's a fascinating way they're changing that kind of surgery, which would be big for any athlete because ACL, all week ACLs, year and a half, you won't be good enough for a year and a half. It's crazy. If he
I
comes
think
back,
it's like
that would be insane.
ACLs. Dude, look at Reese Hoskins. Reese Hoskins coming back from ACL. I want to say,
Yeah,
don't quote me on this, 7 to 9 months out or something. And they're talking about he's down right now in Clearwater taking swings, trying to do what Schwarber did in 2016 and come back for the World Series. Literally.
Yes.
They're hoping to have Hoskins as like a bench player in the World
Crazy.
Series to come off the bench and hit.
Hey man, go science. It's good.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
We need those people out there, not like you and me. Those people that read the books and study stuff and learn stuff. That's what you want operating on me. There's a Jerry Seinfeld line where he says, "How come everybody's doctor is the best? Oh, you have to go to this doctor. He was the best. He was the best."
Right, everybody's the best. I'm like, he's the best at like Beaver High Hospital here. I'm like, no, he's not. He can't be the best.
And also, no matter what, at some point in our lives, you're probably going to a doctor that may or may not have graduated last in his class. That's a scary story, but somebody's got it.
That's not good to think about, dude.
Never mind. That's like when I would tell you not to go when you're going to the Jersey Shore, saying, "Hey, watch out for sharks." I ruin your whole week.
Yeah. You ruined my week. You did ruin my week when you said that. I'm like, dude, I'm in 2 feet of water, laying down, like, and the waves are hitting you, and your butt's on the ground. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, shit's in my mind saying, bro, there's sharks in the Jersey Shore. They're everywhere. There's freaking millions of them. You ruined my time, bro. I appreciate that.
I won't do it again. All right, on that light note, all right, call it a day today. We'll be back again tomorrow, right? This is it. We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back. We'll be back tomorrow. And also, too, bro, I heard in the Rockville Center area, there's been an infestation of bed bugs. Hopefully you don't get bitten tonight in your bed.
Oh, no. Oh my God. You're getting back. Oh, now that every time I'm just being like,
All right, JT.
All right,
Love you,
buddy.
brother. And hey, everybody that's back, we're back. You're back. Great to see you. See you tomorrow.